Wake up at 5 a.m. Skip the lattes. Hustle harder than everyone else. That's what it takes to get the millionaire lifestyle, right? Wrong. The millionaires I know don't build wealth with gimmicks. They build it with a handful of habits that rarely get talked about, because the habits that actually create wealth aren't plastered all over social media. And today, I'm breaking down 5 of them that just might surprise you. The first habit is to get clarity on your vision. Millionaires don't just chase money, they decide what wealth actually means for them. And that's a step most people skip. Think about it. When was the last time you actually sat down and defined what financial freedom looks like for you? Not what society says, not what social media tells you, but what is your vision? Most people let the world decide for them. They see ads for dream houses, luxury cars, vacations in Bali, and they start assuming that's what success has to look like. And the truth is, if you're chasing someone else's finish line, you'll always feel like you're behind, even if you're making progress. And here's the difference: millionaires take time to clarify their own vision. For one person, that vision might be building a business that runs without them. For another, it's having enough investments so they can take every summer off with their kids. And for some, it's as simple as never having to stress about bills and being able to help their family without hesitation. Even Warren Buffett has said one of his personal goals was simple: to never run out of money. Think about it. One of the richest men in the world, and his guiding vision wasn't about yachts or private islands. It was about clarity. Protect his wealth, make sure it lasts, and let it serve his life's purpose. That's the power of knowing your own definition of wealth. It doesn't have to look like anyone else's, but it does have to be clear. And that's why clarity matters so much. When you have it, every dollar you save, every decision you make is a step in the right direction, and it starts to line up with that vision. You're not just randomly setting aside money or investing without purpose. You're moving towards something that really matters for you. And this is a foundational step that most people skip. If you don't know your version of financial freedom, someone else will sell you theirs. Take the time to define what wealth means to you, because once you do, every step feels like progress and not pressure. Habit 2 is continuous learning. Millionaires are relentless learners. And I don't mean they're just scrolling articles or watching random YouTube videos. I mean, they're intentional about it. Books, mentors, courses, masterminds. They're always feeding their mind with new ideas and perspectives. The average person graduates high school or college, maybe does a little training for their job, and then stops. They think learning ends when school ends, but millionaires see learning as the edge to stay ahead in a world that's constantly changing. Every new skill, every piece of insight, every perspective they add, it compounds just like money does. While most people spend hours scrolling social media or binging TV shows, the wealthy spend their time reading, listening, and learning. For millionaires, the day doesn't end when they leave their office. Continuous learning, part of their lifestyle. It goes beyond optimizing money or improving the bottom line. And it's not just about information either. Millionaires seek out people who know more than they do. They pay for coaches, mentors, and trainers. They join communities, both online and in person, where they're not the smartest person in the room, because they know the right idea, the right shift in thinking can save them years of mistakes or open doors they'd never even considered. Meanwhile, most people avoid that kind of investment in themselves. They'll drop money on the latest phone, but hesitate to spend a fraction of that on a course that could change how they manage their money forever. And that's the difference. And since we're talking about learning, I've got something for you that you're going to love. I'm putting together a free 5-day magnetic wealth activation course that's launching soon, and it's a huge value. If you want to be the first to know when it's ready, sign up with the link below, and it's completely free. It's designed to help you start building the kind of financial freedom that we're talking about in this video. Continuous learning isn't about stuffing your head with knowledge just so you can say you read the book, took a course, or learned something new. It's about staying adaptable, spotting opportunities, and shortening the gap between where you are and where you want to be. And that's why millionaires never stops learning. It keeps them ahead. Habit number 3 is protecting their energy. Millionaires protect their energy the way most people protect their money. And I'm not just talking about getting enough sleep or hitting the gym, even though those things matter. I mean their energy in the bigger sense, their focus, their time, who they give it to. Most people let anyone or anything drain them. They say yes to every request. They answer every notification. They sit through meetings that go nowhere. And at the end of the day, they wonder why they don't have the energy to work on their own goals. Millionaires are intentional about the opposite. They put boundaries around their time and attention. They say no a lot. They're selective about who gets access to them, and they're guarded about what really matters to them instead of letting the world pull them in 10 different directions. And here's the interesting thing, this isn't about being selfish, it's about stewardship. They know their energy is their most valuable asset because without it, the money and the opportunities won't matter. I've seen this in my own life. Once I learned about the ultradian rhythm, those natural 90-minute energy cycles we all go through, everything changed. Instead of just grinding nonstop, I started devoting my peak energy to the things that actually mattered, creating content, coaching, building wealth. The difference was huge. On the days I honor those cycles, I make real progress. On the days I ignore them and let emails or social media or other people's priorities flood in, I end up drained and nothing meaningful gets done. And that's the thing. Millionaires understand that wealth isn't just dollars in a bank account. It's also about having the energy to enjoy their wealth, to use it wisely and keep building it. Protecting their energy is how they make sure they can do that. Habit number 4 is networking and relationships. Millionaires know something most people overlook. Wealth isn't built alone. Most people think building wealth is about managing their own money better, grinding harder, or finding the right investment. But millionaires understand that people around you can be just as important as the dollars in your bank account. They're intentional about surrounding themselves with growth minded people. They seek out mentors, they collaborate with peers, they build friendships that stretch them instead of drain them. And here's the difference, the average person stays in the same circle they've always had. And while there's nothing wrong with loyalty, if the people around you don't share your vision for growth, it's easy to stay stuck at the same level. Millionaires put themselves in the rooms where conversation are about ideas, opportunities, and future plans, not just complaints about the economy or their boss or the rising cost of groceries. For me, the times when I've stepped into masterminds or connected with other entrepreneurs, doors opened that I didn't even know existed. A single conversation has led to new ideas, a collaboration, or just a mindset shift that changed how I approached my business and my money. And here's what's interesting, millionaires don't just build relationships for what they can get, they invest in people. They listen, they support, they give first because they know true wealth grows in exchange of value, not just in transactions. At the end of the day, money flows through people. The right connections can save you years of trial and error and put you on the path toward opportunities that you would never have found on your own, or simply give you the encouragement you need to keep going when things get tough. Millionaires know that, and that's why they invest just as much in people as they do in their energy or their money. Habit number 5 is all about resilience and adaptability. Here's the last one, and honestly, it might be the most important. Millionaires are resilient. They adapt. Most people see a setback as a dead end. They lose money on an investment, their business idea doesn't work, or life throws them something unexpected, and they stop. They think, well, that didn't work. I guess this whole wealth building thing just isn't for me. Millionaires see it differently. They know setbacks aren't the end, and they're part of the process. After a loss or failure, they pivot. It's all feedback, and instead of quitting, they adjust. and keep moving forward. Think about it. Every economy shifts, every industry changes, technology evolves, jobs come and go, opportunities dry up in one place and pop up in another. The people who thrive are the ones who can bend without breaking, and that's why adaptability is their superpower towards building wealth. Back in 2008, when the economy collapsed, I lost everything in a single day. Every single one of my clients left. And I had nothing but a small emergency fund to get us through for a short amount of time. But it was just barely enough for survival. I'll be honest, I panicked at first. But once the shock wore off, I shifted. I reworked my business model and I launched the very first version of my marketing business. Within a couple of bumpy months, I had my first clients again. And that pivot ended up turning into a 20-year career. And then later in life, when my values and my priorities shifted, I pivoted again. I changed my business model, stepped into a new direction, and it became the next phase of my evolution. That's resilience. That's adaptability. It's not that setbacks don't happen. It's that you use them as a turning point instead of an end point. And if you're listening to this thinking, I want to build those habits, but I need a place to start. That's exactly why I created my free 5-day magnetic wealth activation course. It's launching soon and it's going to be a huge value that you won't want to miss. If you want to be one of the first to know when it's ready, just click the link below and sign up. It's completely free and it's designed to help you build the kind of wealth and financial freedom that you want in your own life. And here's where resilience ties everything together. Clarity of vision, continuous learning, protecting your energy, investing in relationships, they all help you bounce back faster because you're not starting from zero when life knocks you down. You get direction, knowledge, energy, and support behind you. Now that you know the habits, here's one milestone that changes everything. You'll see exactly what I mean in this next video, so go watch it now.